Wait, no, that just changes with the amount of successes. The more successes I get, the better it is.
It. I think it was somewhere that. I mean, you could go for it that way, but I think it was that. I mean, the difficulty of the task definitely affects it. So, I mean, if you
Yeah, but
want to
that's
go.
if I'm trying to make something really hard, it's a high difficulty. But if I'm trying to make something, normal difficulty, just better, it will be the
Yeah.
more successes needed.
Uh, well, you can approach this either way. My point is, if you want to,
But,
that is,
and one success. Got that.
okay. I mean, if you want, I mean, for you, this would be the equivalent of a difficulty 8 roll. So you would have more successes than it currently shows if, since you have the voice thing, right?
Oh yeah.
So in the first case, you would get 1 success. In the second, it would be 2. So, you know, you're you don't particularly stand out, but people are certainly okay with you being there, and they don't mind your performance. It's certainly not as spectacular compared to the first time you showed up, but you know, people are certainly, you're one of the girls there, right? You actually see the
Yeah.
uh, Bruja, Primogen, show up and give a performance as well at one point. He seems to focus more on his skill with the guitar, but he certainly seems to have some affinity for music as well. So this session
Interesting.
begins at the end of night 8. I do believe we caught you up on the wonderful things that the derps got up to in that time. So we can move on to the next night and actually start doing things. Unless you have any questions about what I've been up to.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna subtract a point of blood for Malik, since we're moving on to the next night. Well, apparently this isn't a entirely current... Well, we'll figure it out once he gets back. I'm not entirely sure as to how he has his bookkeeping set up. So, yes, subtract 1 point of blood for waking up on night 9, and you have several things you could look into. For one thing, you have the meeting with the Russians that Raffaello's contact in the Mafia has set up. And you could certainly use that to try and make the Russians leave the club you are currently trying to sponsor alone, thus earning your keep as far as that partnership is concerned. Or you could get up to some business of your own, if you so desired. Or alternatively, there is some things which I could throw at you, which would thematically fit. For one thing, Sarath wanted to start looking for the Nosferatu at some point.
Yeah, probably. Like, within this week probably would be a good idea, but like,
Yeah, since
maybe
they...
not, maybe not tonight, because because I probably will have to complete my ritual very soon. If I'm planning on actually making it of any use.
You know, actually, uh, Bronson hands you a book, or a set of books and diagrams, detailing the warding circle versus lupines. And taped to the front is a note which says, I'm proud of you, my child. apparently your mentor and sire has come through for you and provided you with the magical knowledge you wanted.
Yay!
So you
I
can...
take them from Bronson and put them in the library, of course. And also say, ah yes, I've been expecting these.
Okay. Okay, so I assume you don't want to go after
Should
the
I add that?
Nosferatu.
Should I add that to the library, or do you want to do it?
You can do so. So, what about you, Raffaello or Bacon, and you, Mads? What do you guys think about leaving the Nosferatu thing for later? You want to ignore that for now as well? Do something
I mean,
else?
if we have a meeting with the Russians, then we should probably take that first, since that's a scheduled meeting. But we should definitely start to look after the Nosferatu. I mean, if they're dead, they got taken up by something, and that would be good to know. And if they're not dead, maybe we could work together. So I mean, it's win-win either way.
Yeah. Yeah, the Nosferatu are the ugly as... well, ugly ass motherfuckers who live in the sewers, and they've been conspicuously absent after the Tremere fucked them and after the Sabbat attacked. Who knows? Maybe they're in hiding. Maybe they're all dead. Maybe they're plotting their revenge against your clan. You don't know.
We'll
So,
just have to find out.
as far as the Russians are concerned, you actually have news from Tony. He's essentially let you know that he has a guy that can act as a hacker and a forger, but that guy is troublesome. He needs careful watching after, and if you keep him under control, you can just have him, as long as you make sure that he doesn't yap any mafia secrets to outsiders. And he can set you up a meeting with Russians or one of the other Italian families whenever you want. So you could meet the Russians tonight. You just need to let Tony know that you want the meeting to happen. Incidentally, I believe that the team managed to get an extra shotgun in the battle with the
Yeah,
Pink Bloods. So if either you, Bacon, or you, Mads, want to claim that, you know, I mean, it's gonna be a hard time to, getting money out of the club if it gets burned down by the Russians, right? You need to handle that at some point.
Probably within the week.
Yeah. Okay. So, go for that then. I can
Sure.
just toss you onto the random map, and you'll be meeting in the bar which you all know so well, and in which all the meetings of this type seem to take place. Maybe the bartender is actually in the know. Or maybe he just knows how to keep his head down. You may place yourselves on the map. It's towards the upper right corner, and position yourselves the way you are gonna stand.
Is this the entrance?
That's one of the windows. I assume the entrance is the area on the left. Yeah, like there. Do you want to bring a gift? You can stop by a store and buy like a $30 bottle of vodka for them, if that's your thing.
No, I think I don't think they'll will need any vodka. We need to give them any vodka. Probably
Maybe spice with some
more.
blood.
Probably something more around. Probably something more around a large amount of lead.
Seriously? I mean, Bacon, you certainly don't have to listen to them. You can bring a gift and try to talk your way out of this.
Also, I'm going to activate my aspects heightened senses level 2 because yeah, things, reasons.
Okay. Please make a perception awareness roll at, difficulty 7, as per the usual. The team actually did manage to get a glimpse of someone who was apparently a gangrel and using obfuscate at the same time. Who knows? And that gangrel was watching your Chantry. And you do a pretty good scan of the surrounding areas, but it doesn't appear that the gangrel is there. At least not yet. Maybe she's busy
Or
doing
anyone
something
at all
else.
who's obfuscated that I could possibly see, apparently.
Indeed. But certainly no one at Obfuscate 2. So, how do you approach this? Do you just swagger in? Do you appear on time? Do you try to make him sweat? What's your strategy?
I'd appear on time. Might as well.
Not stopping for a bottle of vodka? Incidentally, if anyone has not added their money for the first week, you should do so. Since you can, enough time has passed now that you get some cash. So it's 200 for 1 dot of resources and 500 for 2 dots.
Also, no, I won't be in my expensive suit. I'll be in my trench coat.
Wearing all of your weaponry.
With my sword under it, of course, but Like, I'd also have my sunglasses on. Because reasons.
Okay. Mads, are you bringing any weaponry?
No.
Okay. Not even a knife?
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, maybe a pocket knife or something, a Swiss Army knife or something like that, but
Okay. Raffaello.
Can you quickly remind me where did we write money down?
Where or how much?
I know, might have found where. No, where we were writing them, but I found it.
Yeah, it's in the inventory's rituals files. So, okay. So, Sarath seems to, I think you best take the lead on this. Either you, Mads, or you, Raffaello. Probably you, because Checolor just wants to kill things today.
What? I'm prepared to kill someone if they're going to attack us, but because I believe that's quite likely. Because hey, this is a mafia dealing. So, there may or may not be with the other vampires, who aren't exactly, and all of them aren't exactly positive towards us.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
feel free to position yourselves next to the Russian mob boss. He goes by the name of Sergei Sokolov, incidentally, for those of you who are able to pronounce that. And he seems to have a set of glasses, and a bottle of, for those of you who might have some knowledge of such things, a relatively expensive vodka. It's not anything earth-shattering, but it's, decent. He motions for
I
all of
see.
you to sit down and, pours each of you a portion. Are you staying by the door? Mads.
No, hold on.
Okay. Okay. So, he slides the drinks across to all of you. He clearly expects you to drink. How do you handle this? You know, that domino of life ritual which none of you wanted, it's essentially a shot glass, so it's not big.
It's because it's used as a ritual.
Well, fair enough.
I'm going to say I don't drink alcoholic drinks. I need to keep my sharp up.
Please, please, you're among friends here. Relax. And he motions for you to drink. You can, of course, just use dexterity stealth to get rid of the drink in some surreptitious manner, but that would be a difficulty 8 roll, since there are plenty of eyes on you, and just spilling the drink in some way that would be unnoticed while pretending to drink it is not exactly easy, even if it isn't exactly bright lights. Okay, so you refuse to drink. The Russian is clearly insulted. Okay. He looks to Raffaello. You Italians. You treat us like dogs, as if we're beneath you. You asked for meeting with me. Show me a little respect, please.
He's the only Italian one at this table currently.
Well, he's the boss, but various Italian bosses have different recruiting policies. You could well be Italian, or you might not even have to be. You could certainly be part of his family, even if you wouldn't be in leadership positions due to your, inappropriate descent. So,
Okay.
how are you gonna smooth this over, Raffaello? Meanwhile, would either of you two like to get in any trouble while this is going on? Or you could just
To get in what?
you could start, I was just wondering if you would like to do anything stupid and make my day far more fun.
No, I'm just going to sit here and eye everything suspiciously.
You could certainly try to project an air of quiet menace if you wanted, and make an intimidation roll to back Raffaello up.
Why not? It's probably going to end horribly. I know it.
So, you're gonna try and look like the tough guy bodyguard type, eh?
Essentially.
What about you?
Difficulty. Do you want me to roll just difficulty 6, or do you want to increase it due to there being a large amount of them around compared to us?
You know, roll a difficulty 6, but you will need multiple successes to get a serious result on your own. Do you want to participate in that Karen/Mads? Try and help intimidate the
No, I'm just sitting here.
kinda bored. Why am I here? What the fuck is this
Yeah,
crap?
something like that. That's pretty much it.
Okay, are you being sincere, Raffaello, or are you just trying to get him to go along with what you want? All right. Make charisma plus leadership for me to see how just how good at this sort of friendly speech you can be. The Russian seems relatively unimpressed. It looks like it's gonna be one of those days, huh? Let's just get to the business at hand then, shall we? You asked for this meeting. What is it that you want from me?
Anyone?
I'm not the negotiations leader here. That's Raffaello.
I mean, you can certainly join in. As long as you're not disrespectful towards Raffaello, I'm sure it would be perfectly fine. You may well be a counselor or advisor for the Don there, as far as Sergei knows, so you could easily get away with it.
Raffaello?
Yes. I think I know the club you're talking about. However, we have business interests in that area, and since your organization is somewhat new to this area, I believe the term is go and fuck yourself.
Does he start a fight?
No, he's just telling you no, politely. He's not gonna leave the club alone just at a snap of your fingers. You're either gonna have to convince him or you're gonna have to give him something.
I could convince him.
You could dominate him, but there are a lot of thugs watching, so you would have to phrase it very carefully, or you could try and use your awe discipline, since you do have presence up to 2. It's up to you. You can certainly use your disciplines if that's how you want to handle this. I mean, he is just mortal. You could probably...
Maybe.
You know, if you cared about me and my thirst for blood, you would attack one of the thugs now, Serath.
No, thank you. Not until they actually start prepare to draw their weapons, and I'm keeping an eye on them. And I've been having my heightened senses on, so I'm pretty sure I'd be able to notice them pretty easily if they try anything funny.
Okay. Roll perception awareness for me at difficulty 7 again. Nope. Doesn't seem to be anything there. I mean, one of the shadows might have looked slightly suspicious for a moment, but nope, there's nothing there.
You're just trying to make me paranoid.
No, would I do that? Would I be making secret rolls? I just made Jackalaw roll another perception awareness roll, since he's keeping his heightened senses active, and who knows, maybe someone invisible is watching you. Do you want me to look up the rules for either Dominate or Presence for you, Bacon? Because I have the book open.
There, that's the odd thing.
Okay, so Charisma plus Performance at difficulty 7. And the number of successes determines how many people you can affect. And yeah, it just makes them like you a whole lot more. Right? It's not a part. It just makes them, yeah, receptive to your point of view. So it will be easier to convince them if you can make it stick. Okay. I assume you can exclude people if you want to, or does that work on everyone, Mads?
Everyone, but it targets those with lowest willpower first. It usually means that it's humans first and vampires last.
Yeah. Thugs are
Does it
certainly...
actually?
Assuming you're talking about all.
Does it actually affect permanent willpower, permanent willpower, or temporary willpower? Because it actually
Temporary.
doesn't say that.
Oh, you're gonna be listening to every word that Raffaello is gonna say. What's your willpower actually, Mads? 6?
Something like that.
Yeah. So you would have to roll pretty well, because Sergei Sokolov, I mean, he's not anywhere near as strong a will as Sarath would be if he was at full strength, but he's not exactly a complete wimp, so essentially you would have to get all the thugs and Sarath first, and then you could affect Sergei and Karen, so you would need essentially 4 successes.
Damn it.
But you can try and dominate him. You just need to work it into a conversation in a way that makes it seem natural. The thugs are certainly relatively disciplined, and they seem to be fine at just sitting there. They're not making too much noise. This would certainly be this would count as a environment without distractions if you wanted to go for dominate too.
You should probably put the word that you're trying to use, what you're trying to use, in cursive if you are going to use those such
He
things.
doesn't have to use dominate 1. It doesn't have to be a single word. It
Oh,
can
yeah.
be sentences, and whole
Okay.
thing. So yeah, if you want to risk the use of your disciplines, dominate 2 is probably your best bet. Is that what we're gonna go for here? Okay. Please write out what the sentence you're gonna, or sentences, what you're gonna be using on him are first and then make the roll. You know, you don't even know if this guy is mortal. He might just be obfuscating. And you don't have enough
At
aspects
3
to...
or higher, that
Yeah.
is.
You don't know. This may well be the Giovanni Elder that is trying to kill Raffaello, masquerading as a Russian bandit.
Totally.
So, Bacon, how are you gonna mindfuck him? Impress me with your creativity. Alrighty. Are you sure you don't want to start some shit, Sarath?
Yes, I am quite certain that I won't be starting any shit right now.
You know, this guy's looking at you funny. You should
He's not
probably
drawing.
do something about that.
He isn't. As long as he's not drawing any weapons, I'm completely fine with him.
You know, he's eyeing you suspiciously and scratching his balls right now. He's not really drawing a weapon.
Unless he has a weapon in his crotch. But no, I won't be. I won't be killing anyone yet.
You know, you already... You know, you do have blood in your system. You should probably start buffing up, huh?
Only if things start going sour. Not yet. I don't need to waste my blood. Unlike what you want.
Trade partners. That implies you're gonna give him a share. You can certainly phrase it like that, but you're 1%.
That's like telling him to fuck off from his own home, essentially. It's like he want. It's like Bacon wants me to kill everyone.
Bacon, please make your, I think it's manipulation leadership at difficulty 6, since you don't know his exact willpower. So, yeah, please proceed to make your roll to see just how much this command sticks.
If he actually said that, I'm going to buff my dex by 2 right now.
You are? Okay.
Yes.
Make a note of it somewhere. You are suggesting a partnership. Why should I have any sort of partnership with you when I can just take the whole thing?
Can I buff my blood again?
Yeah. I mean, do you expect to... I mean, you could take over the negotiations if Bacon is done trying. You didn't botch it, luckily for you. His willpower is 7 or less. So, You could, in theory, try to dominate him again. If that's what you wanted. And Sarah has been doing a pretty decent job of being menacing. I think you got 3 successes on your initial intimidation roll.
Yes, I did. Want me to roll again?
You can actually all roll perception, empathy if you want. Mads, did you say something?
Yeah, but I'm rolling first.
What are you rolling? Empathy?
Yeah.
Okay, Sarath. Okay, Bacon. Perception, empathy. You can tell that, or you, with your 2 successes, can tell that the Russian guy is getting annoyed at this situation. He wasn't before. He seems willing to make a deal, or seemed willing to make a deal, but he seems to be getting annoyed. You, Karen, can actually tell with your amazing perception roll that Sergei would actually love to not bother committing men to controlling the club. If he could get some money without having to actually pay anything for it, he would be very happy. But he's not willing to walk away with nothing here. So, if someone else was controlling the club directly and, say, paying him a cut, like an actual cut, say 30, 25, maybe even just 20%,
Yeah, no.
he would be happy with that.
Should we start killing them all by now, or what?
You could just start walking around and ordering the thugs to leave, and then just pound the mob boss's face in until he understands that you're not to be fucked with. I mean, there are 6 thugs and they will have firearms. It's gonna get messy. Police will be called. The bartender is starting to eye the tense situation very carefully, and he's standing awfully close to a phone.
I look directly at the bartender and nod to him against
Okay, what do you want to tell him?
leave. I'm gonna dominate him.
Okay. Do either of the others want to join in the carnage, or interfere with Serath, or otherwise start perhaps doming some of the thugs, or what's your approach? You just dropped out of the site, Mads. Are you still here? Well...
Do I roll like... What's the difficulty? It's willpower, that is.
The bartender... I made a generic bartender a second ago. Or a while back. This is Eddie, the generic bartender. His willpower is actually at 6. The thugs are lower, but... You know, he actually, yeah, he walks out. He tosses down his rag in disgust and walks out. But Mads just dropped out. We should maybe see if he comes back, and I'm gonna split the video here and see what's going on there. Okay?
Probably.